What's going on, everyone? If you've seen some of my videos, you know at this point that I really enjoy longboarding. So what I thought could be valuable was to go through some tips and tricks I've learned over the years. Now, I would say, the truck's gonna run me over. I thought about all the different things you can go over with longboarding and skateboarding, and there's just so much. So I didn't want to make a super long video. I wanted to cut it down to a few finer points. So what I would say is this probably isn't for the person who is picking up a skateboard or longboard for the very first time. There's a lot more beginning steps to take before that. But as you get more comfortable with riding, even for those who are just starting to ride, it's for them. But I don't go over, this is how you should step on the board, this is how you should push, I don't go over that stuff. So you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. Gotta make sure there's no cars gonna come run over my board. Oh. It's a narrow road. So first tip is what I've actually noticed pretty recently riding this board specifically, because in the past I've had really light boards, just maybe didn't notice it. This one's a little bit heavier. Oh, thank you. When you're pushing off, have the foot that's on the board be at the back part of as far back as you could possibly do it. So a lot of the times when I started riding this board, I'd have my foot up here or right in the middle. It's just, obviously it's more comfortable, but having this foot towards the back of the board, first of all, you're making this other leg not work as much because you're pushing more weight. If you're towards the front of it, you're pushing the whole weight of the board plus the weight of yourself. Back here, you take less pressure off this leg. The board's just going to be lighter as you push off. You're going to make it a lot less work for yourself, trying to speed up, trying to just maintain distance, whatever you're trying to do. So again, you want to put this foot as far back, push off, and then adjust. So my second tip is for when you're riding over bumps, gravel, anything that you can see ahead of you that you think your wheel is not gonna roll over or ride over. As you can tell here, I don't have the biggest wheels, so always paying attention to where I'm going, what's in front of me is something that I'm doing. You know, I hate having to either jump off your board, step off your board every time I see a bump that I might not make it over. It may not work for all boards. It works for this one. It's a little bit flexible. While you're going over the bump is hopping. But instead of just, you know, having your feet planted and trying to ride over it and seeing what happens, hopefully not falling face first, but while you're riding over the bump is to hop a little bit on the board. Not too much off the board so you lose your position. And what I found is a lot of the times the first wheel, especially once you get that first two wheels over, the second two wheels makes it a lot easier for you to ride over. But cars, man, cars. It's a busy Monday. Yep, I see you. Thanks for slowing down. My third and final tip of the day, by far the most important, if you're skateboarding, longboarding, really doing any type of action sport, extreme sport, it's just being agile when you're riding, right? Being stiff, you're so much more prone to injury. You're actually preventing yourself from going faster, flowing, and having to push less by being stiff on the board. By being agile, being flexible, bending your knees, doing all the necessary things, I feel like you should feel like you should be agile when you're riding a board, right? It feels kind of off if you're riding it stiff, if you buckle your knees. So that's what I try and do every single time I ride. I'll show you what I mean. So those are the tips and tricks for skateboarding, longboarding I have for the day. Hope you learned something. Leave me some feedback in the comments if you did. Would love to hear it.